Hi everybody. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to draw openings in your one-point perspective forms. Perspective can get a little tedious and a little boring without some things to put some interest in your drawing. Very easy. Make sure that you have your horizon line set up along with your vanishing point. Remember, horizon line is your eye level. Vanishing point is where all receding lines seem to end. And if you're doing this along with me, go ahead and set up your paper with your horizon line, vanishing point, and these 5 forms. You'll notice this one is overlapping the horizon line. We've got one above and below, one off to the side and above, and then a triangle. You can put your forms wherever you want, but if you want to follow exactly with this video, that's where that should be. Pardon the messiness over here. I've been having some trouble with my vertical lines and the camera distorting them, and so I know this one is not as vertical as it should be, but I'm going to go ahead. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put an opening in the front of this form. Since the front of the form is made up by vertical and horizontal lines, we're going to go ahead and repeat them. Vertical and horizontal. I'm actually just repeating the shape in the front of the form, front face. Okay. I always tell my students it looks like someone stuck a poster on the surface or a piece of paper. This is a very flat shape. Nothing dimensional about it. All right, now we're going to work inside the shape I just drew. I'm going to look at the corners. I'm going to determine from which corners I can draw a line to the vanishing point without going out of this shape. I want to stay inside because I'm creating an opening inside. Well, can't draw one back from here or here, but I can draw lines back from these 2 corners. So again, using my straight edge and always lining up with the vanishing point, I draw a line from this corner and stop when I get right there. Same thing with the bottom corner, like that. I tell my students, consider it a room. You have a ceiling, a wall, and a floor. You can see both the ceiling and the floor because your eye level is right here in the middle. That one is pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do one down here below your horizon line. Same thing. I'm working on the front face of the rectangular cube. So I'm using vertical and horizontal lines. And I'm just recreating the shape a little smaller. And again, I'm going to work inside of the shape I just drew to make it 3-dimensional. I look at the corners, determine from which corners I can draw a line back to the vanishing point. And in this case, since I want to stay inside of this shape, I can only take it back from this corner. So I'm going to line up with the vanishing point and draw it all the way back. Now I'm going to take a moment to say right now, if you've not done the first video in this series, part 1, go back and do it, because setting this up will not make any sense unless you do. Video number 1 is essential. You can do the other ones in any order. All right, so because we're looking down, it's like you're looking into a basement apartment. You can see the floor and you can see the wall, but you're not going to see a ceiling like you do in this one because it's all below your eye level. But something looks off here. The inside looks longer than the outside. So what I have to do is I have to put the back end on here. And we know the back end is a rectangle just like the front end. So what I do is I go to my corners here and here, and I put a vertical line here like that, and a horizontal line right here. And you notice these came from the corners like that. Get my eraser, get rid of this line. And what I've created is the back end. It can be closed, it can be open, all depends on what you want to do with it. But you see where I got that from here and from here. If this were transparent, we would see that back end just like that. All right, let's try another one. Let's go ahead and put an opening on the side of one of the cubes. I know that to get started, I reproduce the shape. I draw another one, but this is a little different because it's on the side, okay? I can't use horizontal lines on the side. The lines on the side go to the vanishing point. So when I create my shape for my opening on the side, I've got to use the vanishing point. You know, as a society, we love shortcuts. And so I always have issues with people not wanting to use the vanishing point, and you really have to. It's a mechanical type of drawing. Okay, so here we go. It's above my horizon line, so I can see up into it. So if this were a room in here, I could see the ceiling and I could see the wall. I would not see the floor. But here's the thing. On this one and on this one, I drew lines back to the vanishing point to make the opening. Well, I've already done that. So I take a look at the type of lines I have in 1 point perspective. I have vertical, I have lines to the vanishing point, and I have horizontal. So the only line I haven't used yet is a horizontal line. So, you know, use your visual sense. I know I can see a ceiling here. So I go to this corner and I make a nice horizontal line. So there you go. Here's my ceiling. Okay, so depending where you put your forms, they're not going to look exactly like this. Okay, placement on the paper is very important. So you have to be careful to learn and follow the steps, not just go ahead and copy what you see on the video. All right, we're going to get fancy here. On this cube, which is right above my vanishing point, I'm going to put an opening in the front, and I'm going to put an opening underneath so we can see all the way through. And I'm hoping this works. Because I will be honest, when I prepare the papers ahead of time for some videos, I'm never entirely sure if it's going to work out exactly the way I want it to. But that's okay. All right, so here we go. Redrew my rectangle on the front. Okay, I've got to take lines back to the vanishing point on the inside here. Can't do it from these two because that'd go outside of it, but I can do it from here and from here. So let's line it up here. Let's line it up there. Okay, now I've got the bottom to do. So since I'm working with this plane right here, when I draw the shape on there, I go horizontal, like that, and like that. But these lines have to go to the vanishing point. There and there. All right, I've got to finish this off because right now it's just like a piece of paper stuck to it. So again, think about the 3 types of lines you're using. I already used horizontal. I've already used lines back to the vanishing point. So what's remaining? Vertical. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. I can continue this vertical line up to there. I did not plan that. That's just how it worked. And I'm not going to see it on the other side. So that means I drew something crooked. There you go. That is a tiny bit off, which will happen sometimes. Full disclosure. Hopefully when you do yours, yours will line up perfectly. My students always loved it when I made mistakes or something didn't turn out exactly like it was supposed to. It kind of makes you human. But you can see how that goes right there, even though I am a slight bit off here. Not exactly sure why, because that is lined up with the vanishing point, but it does happen sometimes. All right, let's go ahead to the triangle. I can put any kind of opening in the front I want. I can do another square, or I can go with the original shape, which in this case is a triangle. So, and you can put openings into any forms. You can put several openings. You can put openings on, all the faces of it. You just have to take your time, rely on what you know about 1 point perspective, and try to figure it out. All right, so here I am. Got my opening. I have to work inside here, taking lines to the vanishing point. This one's pretty easy. Boom. There you go. That was really easy. Okay. Now, you would not see the back of this one because the back of it is right there. And you see how these on here don't reach this opening. So you would not see any of the back end of it. And because it is not transparent, there you go. Okay. Oh, there goes the dog again, so I better end this one. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and happy drawing.